And I think in a sense I got to know a bit of his father too, because as a young man he was stepping out into a world, and he stepped out from the strength of that family. He stepped out from the strength of this unique tie and friendship and warmth that he had with all of you. And that obviously, it has such a connection that we are all here today. And we've come from distances. And it's the tie that we made very early because he, one, was brilliant. He really was smarter than almost anyone I had ever met. In a sense, he struggled to find the discipline to use that brilliance through a lifetime. But he brought that brilliance into everything. A brilliance in his appreciation of literature, the breadth of literature. And in the later years in his life, as he reached off into his appreciation of the Bible and religious writing. But Shakespeare was his friend too. And Michael had that depth. It's probably one of the things that connects him to my son now. He had a great love of sports. He had this absolutely wonderful love of music. And so I won't go on, and this is about Mike and it's not about Felix. I went on into a career in politics and got elected to the state assembly and served there for about 20 years. And Norma and I now live and I work and I run a healthcare think tank in New York City. I told Mark Abbey, I said, you just had to picture the fraternity house at 310 Walnut Place. And you had to picture Mike's classmate, Felix. He would have described himself as a skinny young Italian kid from Pelham Manor, New York. Felix's mother had passed early in his lifetime, and his dad was an oral surgeon. And maybe that was one of the things that bonded them. But the year later, after Mike was initiated into the fraternity, we found ourselves, assigned ourselves to the same room in the fraternity house. And so I will just picture Felix sitting at that piano on the first floor, banging out the great rock and roll of the era. He could do a Chuck Berry, he could do Dion and the Belmonts. He later, his two closest friends in music were Dion DiMucci and Frankie Valli, because they were the three young Italian kids of music in that era. Whether it was Fats Domino or any of them, with Felix banging away, Jerry Lee Lewis, Felix banging away at the piano, and Mike doing what I would have considered a respectable backup. Mike was never going to go to the mic and lead, because he was